Hello, and welcome to this first introductory episode to solo adventures with Calby Calv. I posted on my Twitter that I would play through the Lost Mines of Phandelver, essentially running myself through the game, and so I'm going to run it and then play 4 different characters and record each different character in an order. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is have initiative effectively be passive, so it's just going to be 10 plus whatever the initiative modifier is, and that's going to apply to the monsters too, just so, not that I can't keep track of it all, just for, considering I'm tracking 4 characters plus all the monsters, it would just make it easier overall to expedite, that's the word, all of this. So, yeah, let's at least start. Like I said, we're playing Lost Mines of Phandelver. So, in the city of Neverwinter, a dwarf named Gundren Rockseeker asked you to bring a wagon load of provisions to the rough and tumble settlement of Phandelver, a couple of days' travel southeast of the city. Gundren was clearly excited and more than a little secretive about his reasons for the trip, saying only that he and his brothers had found something big, and that he'd pay you 10 gold pieces each for escorting his supplies safely to Barthen's Provisions, a trading post in Phandelver. He then set out ahead of you on horse, along with a warrior escort named Sildar Hallwinter, claiming he needed to arrive early to take care of business. You spent the last few days following the high road south from Neverwinter, and you just recently veered east along the Tribord Trail. You've encountered no troubles thus far, but this territory can be dangerous. Bandits and outlaws have been known to lurk along the trail. So with that, we're going to go over to the first character, and they will introduce themselves as the character, obviously, because it's still going to be me, and give their backstory and what they're playing in entirely, and then go from them and work the way around, essentially, for the characters. And then that'll probably be for this episode, and then next episode we'll start the next part. Dun dun dun! Hello, I am playing Vanros Halminar, a half-elf druid with the noble background. I just had it. Born into a noble family would be great for most people, especially a half-elf, but Vanros wasn't most people. He loved going out into nature and being with the animals, but rarely was given the chance because of all of his noble duties. Thankfully, he had a teacher who was also a fan of nature, so when it could be justified for his schooling, they went out exploring. This went on for many years, and eventually his teacher taught him about the ways of druidry, and asked if Vanros wanted to become one, and Vanros very excitedly agreed. Many years later, this being a few months ago, Vanros' father found out and kicked his teacher out, but for Vanros that was the last straw. He planned his escape and was able to run away, eventually finding his way to Neverwinter. With only the supplies he could take with him and no desire to go home, he asked around and was told about a paying job that he hoped would help him get further away from his family and be able to enjoy the natural world more. So the intent for this character is, he is, I'm now realizing none of them are female, but that's fine. I'm going to be playing, when I get of level, I would be playing a druid circle that my brother created called Circle of the Primal, where essentially you become an animal permanently, intelligent. So it's wild shaping permanently, effectively, except you can still wild shape into other animals, just temporarily. Partially because I want to test out. This gives me all of the classes will be some kind of either a class that my brother came up with, or a subclass that my brother came up with, or a subclass that I came up with. So it's also a good way to test those out. So this character will eventually be Circle of the Primal. What animal he will become, we'll figure that out as we go. So, all right, on to the next guy. Hello. This character will be Silurian Peric, probably pronouncing that wrong, a sea elf fighter with the marine background. I did not write his backstory very well. But born in the ocean, Silurian spent most of his life swimming around, training or defending his home. Eventually, his people were able to push off the Sahuagin threat, and he was able to go out with his unit to attack pirate ships. Wanting to be more useful, he went to the surface and joined a marine crew and fought many fights. It was many years later when he decided he was done with the sea and wanted to explore the land. Thankfully, one of his crewmates knew people in Neverwinter, and he was able to get a meeting with some dwarves about a job they needed help with, which brings him to the Rock Seekers, Gundren specifically. This character is going to be he's a fighter. I don't intend on multi-classing for any of the characters, specifically because of the subclasses. This is another one. I didn't even realize that this side of the table was my brother's subclasses, but this one he's going to be a commander. Kind of similar to 4th edition's Warlord and 3.5's editions, he was Commander, might have been Commander too. So that'll be fun to play. So he's kind of, he's the Marine, he's seen a lot of stuff, so he'll probably be the party leader. Although he's not the face of the party necessarily, although I think most of the group, one of the group has not great charisma, but everybody else is pretty solid. So yeah, he's kind of be the stern. He'll have fun, but he's pretty stern and wants people to listen to him because he's used to that type of lifestyle. So let's see what the next person does. Hello, this character will be LeBaron Okri, a Forsaken Azimir warlock with the clan crafter background. Born in Helrua, probably pronouncing that wrong, before the Spell Plague, he wasn't very good at wizard stuff, but had a good understanding of magical items, so he started getting trained in item crafting. Then the Spell Plague hit. When Helrua plane shifted into Abir, LeBaron wasn't close enough to the center and didn't go. He instead got frozen in time until Helrua came back during the Second Sundering. He somehow also wasn't anywhere near Helrua. He is spell-scarred, which explains his Forsaken subrace, except when he uses his Shroud ability, which will be at later levels. It'll be a blue-black flame engulfing him instead of wings. So he won't gain the spectral wings. He'll gain essentially like a ethereal fire. But it still does the necrotic damage and stuff. Not really remembering a whole lot because of his time loss. All he could remember was his ability to craft, and worked under a dwarf craftsman in Waterdeep. One day while working, he came upon a gear, and when he touched it, Primus, depowered god Mechanus, talked to him. So he made a pact. Now with the purpose to go out, his master told him about some dwarven brothers that were in need of adventurers to assist them. And that's how he came to Neverwinter and found the Gundren Rockseeker. I guess there's only one, but found Gundren Rockseeker and joined the mission to take equipment to Phandelver. This character, I actually have this one is actually up on DM's Guild. This is my magic patron. So essentially he found, the concept is you find a being of magic. Premise I thought was pretty interesting for the character. Or it could also be, I don't remember his name, but the really powerful wizard that essentially destroyed most of Netheril on accident by taking on Mistra's mantle, and then he was cast down onto the planet, and so the shrine of him could also be one. Powerful dragons. Essentially, the concept is essentially you make a pact with a powerful magical being, which dragons are magical. Primus is a god, but he doesn't have the power because he's not as powerful anymore, at least from what I remember. So that is the concept of this character. It's very crafting related, and he will want to very much learn about magic and item crafting. So it's almost like a warlock equivalent of an artificer, sort of. So yeah, that's this character. Let's see who the final person is. Hello. This character is Flash of Lightning, a Tabaxi monk with the Outlander background. The plan is for him to go into the Order of the Kraken, which is a monastic order that I teased about when I was playing a game, playing a character in my brother's streamed Monday game, who was a monk, but I never came up with the actual order, so I recently kind of workshopped the order, and then decided that this would be a good time to test it out. So, and obviously a character name that goes by Flash, you may have noticed, would work well for me. Born in Maztica, Flash wanted to go out and explore at an early age, unlike the rest of his tribe. So when he was old enough, he ventured out into the world, eventually making his way onto a boat headed for Faerun, but the boat wouldn't arrive. Midway through the journey, a massive storm took the ship down, and Flash was left afloat. By sheer luck, he drifted onto an island and was able to get dry. It wasn't long before he realized the island was inhabited by a group of monks that took him in. He stayed at the monastery, and thankful for the assistance, decided to learn their ways, and in the process became a monk himself. After many years of training in both physical and spiritual matters, he also learned how to cook. Because the Order of the Kraken is very specifically they teach you physical combat, as well as teaching you a trade skill. When his master thought he was ready, he was able to jump on a passing boat headed to Neverwinter. When he arrived in Neverwinter, he wanted to find more adventure, and luckily heard about a job for some dwarves. Or from some dwarves, I guess would be more accurate. And that is how he heard about and joined the quest to Phandelver. I've played a Tabaxi before, so this will be fun. I enjoy playing Tabaxi. But he essentially, Order of the Kraken is they kind of imitate you, use your channel, your key, to you get some of the abilities of a Kraken. I'll probably post this, or if somebody asks about it, I can send them something, but the intent is there. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to play all of these characters in combat to see how they run, especially when they get their actual abilities, which I'll explain probably at the beginning of each. Once they've leveled, I'll probably explain who gets what, when, and where. So yeah, let's get it done. So those are the characters. Let's see where this goes. Hopefully, I see you guys next time. Cav out. Bye.